Hi, I'm Shoestring Jay and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. And this week I have restarted my frugal makeover of our kitchen and dining room area. I say area because it's pretty much an open plan downstairs. It's not a very big house. We have a sitting room area and it's all been knocked through, not by us, by the previous owners. And we have dining room and a little kitchen, which is good because if there was a wall between each of these rooms, they would be really small. So as a one area, it works quite well for us. So I started doing it and it all went a bit wrong because my dad got sick and then obviously he died. So I've only just really got back to thinking about getting stuff done again. So I restarted the painting. I have bought some curtains. I haven't put them up yet, so I can't show you those yet. I'll show you those in an upcoming video, and hopefully I'll be able to show you it done. I've made a decision on the colour finally, having used, I must have spent £20 or more on sample pots of paint, because you look at them and they look completely different on the little cards they give you, completely different when you put them on the wall. And I guess it also depends on the light in your house and that kind of thing. So we tried so many different colours. I was thinking pink, it all just got a bit too bedroomy, and I know some people just don't like pink at all, but I love pink and green as a combo. So that we're going slightly more towards green. So I finally decided on the colour, I think. So I'm going to order that. So it'll be here when we get back from holiday. We're going on holiday next week, and then I can get on with it with a vengeance, get it finished. It's not a big area, just need to get on with it. So we're going to be doing that. I also this week tried out a recipe from Jack Monroe's tin can cookbook, which I found in the charity shop for £1 a little while ago. So I said I'd try out some of these, and I found loads of cans when I was doing my store cupboard sort out. You may have seen my video last week. I'll put the link below if you didn't. So I thought this is a good opportunity to just use a couple of those tins. And so I had to go at that. So see how I get on with that. See what you think, whether it's a recipe you would have chosen and whether you think it's a recipe that you would enjoy. Haven't done much else this week really, because, you know, decorating kind of takes up your whole week, doesn't it? And then you spend the rest of the time just kind of sorting stuff out again and putting things back and cleaning and that kind of thing. So I haven't done much else apart from work. So I'll just show you that anyway. I'm finally restarting the painting. I've just rubbed this down and washed it. It's very rough wood, but it'll be fine because it's covered in stuff. By the time it's painted, it'll be fine. Everything's on the table. Right, got the undercoat on, and I have redone the top of the dresser, most of it anyway, because it got a bit chipped. So I've got to wait for that to dry. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to do some of the other woodwork and rub it down, and sent Justin out to get some filler to fill it, because he can do that bit. First coat on. Well, it's the first coat of green. So it had the undercoat, so I should just about get away with one more coat, I think. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see. Hope so, because I don't know if I'll have enough paint otherwise. We'll see. So happily, this is done. And needed 2 coats of green, so that's done. But I'm not putting it back yet because I've started painting the wall behind it. I'm just doing this one white. And these skirtings, I've done 1 coat on the skirtings. Still haven't bought the coloured paint, so Justin was trying to find some in B&Q this morning, but the mixer machine had broken down. So I've also done a coat of gloss on the curtain rail, because I'm not buying a new one, I'm just going to make that one white. So yeah, I'll just show you the evening primrose outside. It's bloody glorious, isn't it? It's been raining this morning, but that looks nice, doesn't it? The rest of the garden's well tatty. Onwards and upwards. So that's done, everything's back on. And there you can see it with the other 2. I think it looks quite nice. I've just done the wall behind white now, I've decided. Haven't done the radiator yet. Need some radiator paint for that, I think. I've done this wall white as well. I've got to do another coat, well, probably 2 coats on there. I've got some curtains coming, which I had to buy new in the end. It's annoying, I kept looking for second hand but couldn't find them. yeah, so, well, we're getting there. These walls I haven't painted, I'm just painted over all my samples. So they're going to be pale green, as is this one. And then they will take that pale green through to the lounge. I've done white over there. I think it needs a second coat. God, it's all a bit messy, isn't it? It needs a second coat. I didn't do the one where the baskets are. I didn't do that bit yet because I ran out of steam. I need to get everything down and do the white up there, just to freshen and brighten it up a bit. And then I've got to order the tiles. So I need to save up some money and make sure I can budget for these because they're quite expensive. I'm going to have these, and we're going to put some, I can't remember what it's called, along the top, along here, just to kind of neaten it up in white. What do I mean? God, it's gone. I'll put it, if I remember, I'll put it at the top, what I'm trying to say. So it's the first morning walk that I've had for ages where I've got rained on. It's only a fine rain. We've had some really bad storms in other areas. We just kind of missed it. Other people said just down the road they'd had a pouring storm a couple of nights ago. We just heard a few claps of thunder and that was it. But it has been kind of overcast and it's quite wet, as I say, today. But I don't mind it. I just don't mind it. I don't like the heat really, and Archie hates the heat, so I quite like just kind of that cooling into autumn. And we're going on holiday next week though, so I might not like it quite so much. It gets really, really cool in Yorkshire, which is very possible. I'm going to have to pack for every eventuality, I think. So just trying to spend the rest of this week getting sorted for that. Plus, we're going to see ABBA, The Voyage, which was a birthday present from my daughters to me for my 60th on Monday. So that's before we go on holiday. So next week's all a bit of a rush. And then my daughter's coming to stay for a week or so to look after the cats while we're gone, taking the dog with us. So yes, got to get myself organised. I've got a few bits of writing and stuff I need to do before we go. This video to make. And just get myself just together really. So I realise this terrible bit of filming. Just got half my face for most of this. It's actually stopped raining now. I don't know why I've still got my hood up. It seems to have stopped. It's brightening up. It's quite windy. I find it quite peaceful to walk around a cemetery, although just lately since Dad died I found it makes me cry coming round here. I'm alright today, but well, put yourself through it really, but I still find it quite a peaceful place. I also found a cemetery quite peaceful. Just have to stop Archie from weighing up any of the gravestones though. You won't do that, will you, Arch? I probably would give you half a chance, but I won't give you half a chance. This is this old cemetery across the way. It's very gothic and spooky. And it's just managed for wildlife. It's great though, I love this. To watch out for the squirrels and the muntjac. So I mentioned in a previous video that I had bought this book from a charity shop, and I also happened to be going through my cupboards. So you might have seen, excuse my thumb, you might have seen that video. So I'm going to make one of the recipes from this book with some of the things I found in the cupboard, and it's called Beefy Boozy, and it uses the steak. So it looks like a really weird recipe, but I am going to give it a go. I'm using a can of green lentils, a can of carrots, a can of stewed steak, an onion, garlic, tomato puree, a little bit of wine, and some mixed herbs, and that's pretty much the recipe. But it does look quite weird and a bit involved. I'm going to give it a go though. Let's give it a go. I'm not going to lie, this is the oddest recipe I have ever read, but I'm going to stick with it. First of all, you put the carrots, drained and rinsed, into a blender. So So you can make them as a base of a kind of gravy. And then you add your wine, which is 250 mils of wine. She doesn't say red or white, so I've got red, I haven't got any cider, so maybe she meant white, but you know, red wine goes well with beef, doesn't it? And your uncooked onions and crushed garlic, one onion and crushed garlic. That all goes into the blender, and I'm going to blend that, and then it goes into a saucepan. So it just seems like a weird way. I've never done it. Normally you've always cooked the onion up, don't you, to kind of get the flavours going. Anyway, I'll stop talking now. So it's made quite a thick sort of red wine sauce. You can see. And it smells really weird. It smells like it should be a dessert. And then I'm going to add to this the herbs and the drained lentils. So I need just a teaspoon of dried herbs. It's my lentils. Drained and rinsed. And here's my herbs, which I'm just going to guesstimate. I reckon that's about right. So this makes the kind of basis of the casserole. So now I have to add this to, I'll put this on the stove and leave it with the lid on for 30 minutes on a medium heat. And then I have to rinse the stewed steak in a colander. So you get rid of all the gravy, and then that's going to go in later. So that's weird, isn't it? So, well, let's try it, see what happens. So here's the thing. When you try to rinse off all the gravy off a can of Asda Smart Price stewed steak, it doesn't leave a lot. I've left some of the gravy on because honestly, I'm scared there's going to be nothing left. So that's the job I've done on that. I'm going to add the tomato puree now because I can't really see why you'd wait till the end to add your tomato puree, so I'm adding it now. Maybe if it was ketchup at the end you'd keep the sweetness or something, I'm not sure. I can see why this would be a good sauce. It smells nice. Probably just, I guess it's smooth, isn't it, if you don't fry up the onions first. I don't know, it just seems odd. Anyway, leave that for another 20 minutes or so, and then I'll add the steak. Okay, let's add the steak. Oh, it's bubbling away nicely. Okay, I'll put that in as well. There we go. There's hardly any steak in there, it just disappears to nothing. Shows you how little there is once you take the sauce out of the Asda. Well, I don't think Justin will even know there's supposed to be beef in this beefy boozy, but we'll see. I'm going to do some mashed potatoes with it and see what veg needs using. And I'll let you know what it tastes like. Okay, so I just had a little taste. One thing I can tell you straight away is it has no seasoning in it. She did say add pepper at the end. So I'm going to add pepper, but I think it's going to need salt and potentially a stock cube would have been good. I do find that with Jack's recipes actually, they're quite often under-seasoned or the seasoning's not really mentioned, so I think sometimes things are better seasoned as you go along, so that's what I'll do. It just looks like lentil slop. You would not know there's any beef bits in this at all. Let's see what it tastes like now. It's very hot. Absolutely need something. It's got, maybe it's because I used red wine. Absolutely need something. It's a bit too zingy. So I'll have a play around with that and let you know what I did. So it was absolutely tasteless. Sorry, Jack, but this is not one of your best ones. It sounded promising, but it just doesn't taste of anything really. It needs some, I think if you could taste the onions more, it would be better. I can't even taste the garlic. Well, it must be in there. I'm actually just chopping up a beef stock cube, and I've added a glug of soy sauce, dark soy sauce as well. So let's see if that makes any difference. I think what you could possibly do, maybe some mushrooms would be nice in it, but I don't have any, so I'd have to pop up the shop to get some. I might do that. If I can't get it to taste nice, I might pop up the shop, get some mushrooms, fry those up, add the mushrooms, and maybe do it with some rice. Serve it with rice, because it's so runny that it's not a stew really, is it? So yeah, a bit disappointed with that, Jack. So I'm attempting to retrieve the situation with some mushrooms, a bit more garlic and courgettes. Needs to add some colour and texture so it's not just such a sludgy mess. I've added loads more flavourings, soy sauce, stock cubes, a bit of chilli and a few more herbs. So I'm hoping that will do the trick. Let's add those in. I hope this does save it, because, you know, I've got no time, I've nothing else to cook now, so. Looks better anyway. Got some texture at least. Let's have a little taste. Yeah, it's had time to sit for a bit. Let's see. Try a bit of mushroom with it. It's okay. It's never going to be more than okay, I don't think. Just run that through properly. Put the rice on, and then we'll eat.
It's too hot.
Justin's doing a taste test.
Taste test.
See how hideous it is.
Got to get me tasting it, huh? It's not too bad.
It's edible.
It's edible, yeah.
No better than edible. Well, edible's good. I didn't think it was edible to start with, so we'll go with edible. Archie wants some, so it's delicious. It's okay. Good. So I would like to say that even though I thought that was going to be a disaster, that food, by the time I'd added all the extra things, I added some Cajun seasoning as well that I found in the cupboard, and that really did make a difference. The mushrooms and the courgettes and everything. It was actually really quite nice. Justin went back for his third portion. So if he goes back for portion number 3, you know, it's pretty much a success. And we had a glass of wine with it, and it was really quite nice. So in the end, it was nice. But I do find that sometimes with Jack's recipes, as I said in the video, sometimes the seasoning, she doesn't really kind of mention it. This could have done, I think, if I did something similar, I would have kept the gravy. Because if you think about it, the steak has been cooked in the can, in the gravy. All the flavour from the meat is in the gravy. And if you wash it away, you lose all the flavour. And you also lost really some of the steak in it. It went a bit mushy. So I would keep that, add the red wine, add the lentils, add the whatever, the herbs, you know. Add those other things, fry up the onion and the garlic, chop them small. I would have kept the carrots whole. So it would have been a similar kind of ingredients, but in a different way. So I don't think I'll do anything like that again. I don't have any other tinned steak, and it's not something I normally buy. I did just buy it as a store cupboard emergency staple, really. So I'm unlikely to buy any again. But it wasn't, I can't remember how much it was now. £1.65 or something. In the end, when you put together the cost of all the ingredients, it wasn't a cheap meal. I mean, the Tin Can Cook, it's not like some of Jack's other books where it's all about just saving money. So it is about using stuff from your stores, stuff in cans. And maybe that's cheaper and maybe it's not. So for me, it wasn't massively cheap. I would rather have just had a pack of beef, really, from the shop and use that, and just, you could use similar ingredients, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to buy it in a can. Anyway, let me know if you've tried any other recipes from that particular book and which ones are worth trying, which are the ones to avoid. And hopefully I'll see you next week, but it may not happen because we are on holiday. So I don't know whether we're going to have the resource and the Wi-Fi and everything. we'll have enough to say really from our holiday. So I might not see you next week, might see you the week after. If you like this video, give me the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so that you know next time I publish something. Bye for now.